De pronomine, about or of pronoun. Quot sunt pronomina simplicia? How many simple pronouns are there? Quot sunt pronomina simplicia? Octodecim, 18. Octodecim. Ego, tu, sui, ille, ipse, iste, hic, is, quis, qui. Meus, tuus, sus, noster, vester, nostras, vestras, et cuias. Ex his, of these, tria sunt substantiva, 3 are substantives. Ego, tu, sui. Reliqua quindecim sunt adjectiva, the other 15 are adjectives. Ego, I. Singular, ego, I. Nominativo. Genitivo, mei, of me. Dativo, mihi, to me. Accusativo, me, me. Ablativo, me, with me. And this dative mihi in later Latin became mihi. And then in medieval Latin sometimes you find mihi with a ch. But in classical it's definitely pronounced with the h. Mihi. Pluraliter, plural. Nominativo, nos, we. Genitivo, nostrum, well, or nostri, of us. Dativo, nobis, to us. Accusativo, nos, us. And no vocative, and ablativo, nobis, with us. Tu, giving you, or thou, in Older English. Singulariter, nominativo, tu, thou, that is you. Genitivo, tibi, of you. Dativo, tibi, to you. Accusativo, te, you. Vocativo, tu, o you. Ablativo, te, with you. And pluraliter, nominativo, was, you all, or ye. Genitivo, vestrum, or vestri, of you all. Dativo, vobis, to you all. Accusativo, was, you all. Vocativo, was, o you all. Ablativo, vobis, with you all. And I am using this Texanism, you all, because that helps us distinguish between the singular and the plural, which distinction we used to have in English when we had thou and ye, and you was the plural form and thee was the singular, but that's disappeared. So instead we are substituting you and you all for the singular and the plural, at least for the grammar part. Sui, of himself, of herself, of itself. So no nominative. Genitivo, sui, of himself. Dativo, sibi, to himself. Accusativo, se, himself. And ablativo, se, with himself. This is the same for the feminine. So of herself, to herself, herself, with herself. Pluraliter, genitivo, sui, of themselves. Dativo, sibi, to themselves. Accusativo, se, themselves. And ablativo, se, with themselves. Notice the singular and the plural are the same. A pronoun is an irregular kind of noun, or it is a part of speech which has respect to and supplies the place of a noun. As instead of your name, I say to you. Instead of Jacobus fecit, James did it, I say ille fecit, he did it, viz. James. Note 1. That the dative mihi is sometimes by the poets contracted to me. Note 2. That of old, the genitive plural of ego was nostrorum and nostrarum, and of two was vestrorum and vestrarum, of which there are several examples in Plautus and Terence. These were afterwards contracted into nostrum and vestrum, but it may well be that in speech, certainly in certain parts of Italy, nostrorum, nostrarum, vestrorum and vestrarum were still in use, and of course they do give us a gender differentiation. Note 3. That we use nostrum and vestrum after numerals, partitives, comparatives and superlatives, and we use nostri and vestri after other nouns and verbs. Although there want not some examples of these last with nostrum and vestrum, so the Romans themselves were not consistent in the application of this rule, even in Cicero himself, as Vossius shows. So if you do it, it ain't so bad. Ille, illa, illud. He or she or that or it. Literally he or she or that or it over there in the distance. This is a pronoun that gives us a indication of location as well. And so we have in the singular ille, masculine, illa, feminine, illud, neuter. I'm going to run through the first column, which are the masculines, then the second column, which are the feminines, and then the third column, which are the neuters. So ille, illius, illi, illum, ille, and illo. This genitive illius is pronounced like that in prose. In poetry it is either long or short, so it's either illius or illius in poetry. But in speech it's always illius. Then we have illa, illius, illi, illan, illa, illa. And then the neuter, illud, illius, illi, illud, illud, illo. Notice the neuter is really a subset of the masculine, certainly in terms of its form. Then we have pluralite, the plural, running firstly through the first column, the masculines. Illi, illorum, illis, illos, illi, and illis. Then we have the feminine. Illai, illarum, illis, illas, illai, and illis. And then the neuter, which once again mirrors to a large extent the masculine. Illa, illorum, illis, illa, illa, and illis. Ipse, ipsa, and ipsum. He himself, she herself, and itself. And iste, ista, istud. He, she, and that are declined just as ille, save only that ipse has got ipsum in the nominative, accusative, and vocative singular neutral. Hicke, heike, hocke. Notice the double C on the end, even though one C only is written. This is how the Roman grammarians tell us we pronounce it. Hicke, heike, hocke. This. That's why we have the long line. If you see the singular nominative, the long macron on the I, it's not heek. This long line is telling us it's a heavy syllable, but it's only heavy because it actually have two C's on the end. The word heek with a long I is different. It means here. But this heek means this one close to us. Singular. Hicke, huius. Also that long line on the first U of huius is telling us that the J is doubled. So it's huius. Hicke, huius, huik, hunk, hicke, and hawk. Notice that in the ablative, however, this is why the macrons in this text are not really useful for pronunciation unless you already know the pronunciation. They are giving you the quantities which you will need for writing poetry, but they're not really helping you with your pronunciation particularly. And then we have the feminine, heike, huius, huik, hanke, heike, haak. And then we have hokke, huius, huike, hokke, hokke, hawk. And the plural, he, horm, his, horse, he, his. And then hi, harm, his, has, hi, his. And then we have the neuter, hike, horm, his, hike, hike, his. Finally, is, and id, he, she, and it, singular. Is, eius, ei, eon, the feminine. Eius, ei, and the neuter, id, eius, ei, id, Once again, the long macron on eius is telling us that the y belongs to both syllables. Eius. In the plural, eorum, dative we have either is or eis. Then we have eos and ablative is or eis. And then in the feminine, ei, earum, eas, and the ablative the same, is or eis. And then the neuter, ea, eorum, ea, and the ablative is or eis. Then we have quis, quae, quod, or quid, who, which, or what. Starting on the left, singular, the masculine, quis. Then quius, once again we have this quius, the y is falling onto both syllables, and so we have the macron, quius, qui, quam, and quo. Then we have feminine, quae, quius, qui, quam, qua. And then we have either quad or quid, quius, qui, quad or quid, and quo. Plural, masculine, first column, qui, quorum, quis, or we have quibus, quos, and we have ablative quis or quibus. And then we have the feminine, quae, quarum, quis or quibus, quas, and quis or quibus. And the neuter, the last column on the right, quae, quorum, quis or quibus, quae, and quis or quibus. Qui, quae, quod, who, which, or that, singular. On the left, masculine, qui, quius, qui, quam, and quo. Feminine, quae, quius, qui, quam, qua. And the neuter, quod, quius, qui, quod, quo. Plural. On the left, the masculine, qui, quorum, quis or quibus, quos, and quis or quibus. The central, feminine, quae, quarum, quibus, quas, and let's start again. Quae, quarum, we have quis or quibus, quas, and the ablative quis or quibus. And on the right hand side, the neuter, quae, quorum, the dative quis or quibus, and the ablative quae, and then accusative quae, and the ablative quis or quibus. So qui, quorum, quis or quibus, quos, and quis or quibus. And then the plural, in the feminine, quae, quarum, dative, quis or quibus, the accusative, quas, and ablative, quis or quibus. And then on the right hand side, quae, quorum, quis, quibus, accusative, quae, and the ablative, quis or quibus. Meus, my or mine, tuus, thy or thine, suus, his own or her own or its own, their own, are declined like bonus, bona, and bonum. And noster, our or ours, wester, your or yours, is declined like pulcher, pulcra, pulcrum, of the first and second declension, and we saw those examples earlier. But tuus, suus, and wester, which lack the vocative, noster and meus have the vocative, in which the last, meus, has me, and sometimes meus, as the vocative in the masculine singular. Nostras, of our country, vestras, of your country, and cuias, of what or of which country, are declined like felix, of the third declension. And then we have nostratis and nostrati, which are the genitive and dative of this form, nostras and vestras. Very rare words.